Hey everybody, it's Michael with New Victory Gardening. Welcome to season 2. I had hoped for a little more, excitement to start a second season, but instead we got rain. So it's been dry all the month of January, and now that we're in February, the rain has returned. And as you know, we're very welcome because being dry, we had the fires in LA and other things happening. But man, oh man, getting the season started, it kind of puts a damper on that. So I'll show a few things around. I think I'll split and make the rest of this video after the rain moves out a little bit. But the goal for this season, in the spirit of New Victory Gardening, is gonna be gardening for resiliency and gardening to offset your monthly and or weekly grocery bill. So I'll be taking up a couple of challenges like for that purpose, to show how to garden to where you can eat it and then save your money instead of using that money on groceries. And then I'll explore a couple of unique ways to grow plants that maybe you can grow them in smaller spaces or in wall type structures, and the types of plants that grow the best. And so that's the intro right now in the rain. All right, why don't we go through what we got today? So I got a good thing that we've always done and that I tried and that I'll try again this year, we'll see how it goes, is just to go to a good nursery around and ask for help. And so oftentimes the folks at the nursery are trying to help you and they want to see you successful, right? There's a couple reasons that benefits their business, but it also it just helps the community. They want to help. And so what they stock is what they have grown or what they have tested in your area that grows really well. And so I wanted to get started this season with 2 hardy crops that you could just clip out of these trays. So I have these trays here, and these are just normal sprouting trays, but they work well for this. And then I was able to find these covers here, and so if you look at the cover, you'll see it has vents, right? You can close and you can create an airflow. And so there's one on the side there, and there's another right on the side here. And what does that look like? Oh wait, it's a mini greenhouse. Yeah, so if you don't want to buy a greenhouse or you don't have space for a greenhouse, this is something you can do just kind of to create that mini environment. And what helps with this is that it also you can move it, so it's not stationary. So if it's in a bad spot, I can move it, or if it needs to get more sun, I could do that as well. Then I got some potting soil. Also, just ask you're a good nursery, a person there, and they can always lead you in the right direction. And that's what I always do, just to keep up. It's always good to get some input. So I'll grow arugula here. What is that called? Roquette. That's my French pronunciation. Rocket. And lettuce is salad bowl. So I usually get a romaine or a salad bowl lettuce, usually hardy and can tolerate what spring may bring. I'm trying to be organic, so I figured I got 2 designs on this here, and so I figured I'd put one together right now. And the other one I've kind of been using, you see how the new one's nice and clear and the old one's a little bit grayer, but all you do is there's a tab and you just push it in. So a good gardening supply store will have these. Sometimes you have to go online as well, so you just push that in and then there's a track for it and you can open it. Simple as that. Oh, let's see, I had to say, what's the moon cycle right now? Sounds crazy and superstitious, huh? Have you all heard of that old publication called the Farmer's Almanac? Well, the Farmer's Almanac, it used to keep some like information about the moon's phase. And I think people were just more tied into what information you could get from the environment, from nature. And they use that in their planning, right? Because they really relied on their gardens. Like, it was no grocery stores 100, 200 years ago. And so they really had to rely on their gardens and what they could produce and find and forage to survive. And so, yeah, the moon cycle right now is 3/4, 75%. and I think it's going towards the new moon. And so what they used to say is, oh, let me show you this one thing too. This is an old one, so you can compare, right? It's quite a bit more yellow. And what I had to do here was kind of create this system where I have a hole to bolt this down so that in the wind it wouldn't just blow this top off and blow it around the corner. So if you have it outside, you want to put something on top of it to keep it down, or bolt it together or tape it together, some kind of way to keep it down, because these things will blow off. And so that's why I brought this old one out. You see how yellow they get though? After about 3 seasons, you got to buy some new ones. Okay, oh, let me get this out of the way, and we'll take these, and I think we'll stack them. I've become a whole lot more thoughtful as I've gotten older. I think it's not thoughtful, it's forgetful. So I have to go through slowly and methodically what it is I need to do so that I don't forget something and end up having to do it over. Anyway, all right, so I can get this stuff out of here. Oh, that is. I have gloves for this. Put them on since it's cold. It's cold, y'all. It is. Don't let the sun fool you. It is cold out here. I have 2 shirts on, and I was going to put a cap on. That's a cold weather cap, like a watch cap. But I changed my mind. Save yourself some time and effort. Save yourself some trouble and heartache. Right? Put some holes in these trays. So that's what I forgot. And you know, it's kind of a pain to learn the hard way, because using these trays like this is a little bit out of character for them. But you can use them this way. That way you don't have to buy so much stuff. You can buy a few things and use it for a lot of different purposes. But so it's not perfect, but it works well. You notice I only filled this tray actually about halfway. So if you look, it's not all the way full. That's also a way to save yourself a little bit of time, is instead of trying to like make rows and all that kind of stuff, you can just sprinkle the seed in and then put another layer of soil on top and cover it and water it in, and there you go. And so let me get my drill to put some holes in this. All right, now we got our holes in. Oops, I guess I should say. I forgot it. Oops, I forgot that. I have a lot of oops now. I don't know what to say. Oh, luckily this potting soil has a little bit of fertilizer in it. We have to be careful with fertilizer. You know, because like you want to give enough fertilizer, but you don't want to give too much with these plants, because we're just going to grow them basically for the spring season and try to eat as much as we can from them, see how it works, right? And hopefully I won't starve. That's the goal. Keep Michael and Thelma, his wife, from starving. Make it to where we don't have to go to the grocery store so often. If we could go to the grocery store for things we need twice a month or once a month, that's the goal, right? So we'll see if we can make it happen. and see if we can make that a part of our lives and benefit from it. And I might even dust off those old arithmetic skills, right? And show everybody how much money we actually save, like what the cost comparison is between if we would have just went and bought it at the store versus what we get out of this. Okay. All right. I think we're okay. What do y'all think? I can water these trays now, and they have some good soil in them. And so I'm thinking it's time to plant, right? For some reason, and don't ask me why, when I'm planting, I like to do it with my hands. That's something I like to take the gloves off for. I know, oh no, your hands have dirt on them. Yeah, it's okay. All your food comes from dirt. Okay, so first tray is gonna be arugula. And my goodness, does the amount of seed. I think I used to get like twice this much seed for like 99 cents a pack. And now each pack is $2.99. Anyway, some folks have like really fancy distributors. Ooh, be careful. This is my fancy distributor. Shake it, shake, shake it, 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 shake it. That's my fancy distributor. Okay. All right. So save some seed, because the other goal with this, and if you blow it, you have a clump somewhere, just spread it around. You don't have to be shy. Just spread it around. So the goal with this too is, so I'm going to plant these 2 trays, and then I'm going to wait 2 to 3 weeks, and then I'm going to plant 2 more trays. And so I have enough here to plant these 2 trays, and I'll plant a couple more. And that way you have kind of a layered harvest, I guess I'll say. So my goal is to harvest this as much as possible, right? Kind of gradually across the tray, and then let it grow back. And you need enough trays to be able to do that. Okay, shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it. All right. Then I just spread them out a little bit. You can use your hand. I don't like clumps. I think some of these little seedlings can't get through them, so I try to break them up. So that way, this is potting soil. Water's gonna flow through it. So break the clumps up, spread my seed around, mix it in there, and then I'm firm it back up a little bit and say a prayer. I'm serious. Say a prayer these days with what all's going on. Nothing's guaranteed. And so we'll get our soil here. This time I'll spread it out. Make sure there's no clumps. You can see, break it up some. And we'll spread it in. Oh yeah, I always like it when I have plenty of potting soil in case something else comes up. Actually, I only bought 1 bag. Potting soil is expensive now. I don't know what to say. Like, why is everything so expensive? I guess that's the same reason why I'm out here doing this, because if everything's getting so expensive, you need to have some options, so that you don't have to buy everything. So this is one part. Oh, and I tell you, as I'm finishing this up here, having some friends is another part. So instead of just gardening on your own, like, have some people around, either people at your job or people in your family that live next to you, or folks you meet around. We used to have like clubs. Remember that? I mean, not the club you go to have a drink and relax and listen to music, but a gardening club. Isn't that something? The thought of a gardening club. Wow. So anyway, if you have a club, or you have some place that you you know other people. They'll grow some things and they'll have success growing things that maybe you didn't. And then some years you'll have success growing things that they didn't. And you say, man, that looks really nice. And they'll say, take some. And so you can take some, and guess what? It'll be free. You won't have to pay money for it. Yeah. Getting food for free. That's one of the tenets of this channel. It's actually not free, but it's just, if you saved your seed, it would be close to free. And so having folks that know how to do things, like different people have different talents, and allowing them to develop those talents and then use those talents to help others, to me, has always been a good thing. And so just because you can't grow something, even if you've been gardening for 30 plus years like me, you know, sometimes I feel like I'm back at year one. But you know, having some friends who can, and they give you some, like neighbors. I get watermelons from my neighbors, tomatoes, peppers, and in the same token, I try to make available things that I have on my tree. So I'm a little better at growing trees, and I just like growing trees, and so I'm always able to have something from my trees, either limes, lemons, peaches, you know, avocados, you know, blackberries, all things that I grow and trade that are more suited to how I like to grow and what I like to do. Even grapes. Yeah, grapes are really, you know, table grapes are really good in the summer. They make for a hot trading commodity if you could bring some good fresh grapes and give to people and trade it for whatever they have. And next thing you know, like this job right here, you've got a meal. So I have some folks who grow something, and I grew something, and we traded, and maybe get an egg or two from somewhere, and you have a meal. So there we go, 2 trays. Let me go get some water and water them in a bit, and then I will set them up, and I think we'll be done. I should probably say that, you know, this takes maybe 30 minutes, so it's well worth your time to give it a try, even if you only have minimal success with the sprout or you're using old seed. You know, I spent like about $20 and if this works, it'll feed me for the better part of, you know, a month or maybe 2 months, and so it's definitely worth it. Y'all, I was looking for a garbage, or not a garbage can, I was looking for one of my old watering pots, but they all got old. So I guess put that on the list of things that need to be purchased for the gardening season, because if you have these trays like this, you want to water them kind of gently until the plants get grown. And so I have to get the old water hose out. Come on. All right, there we go. So I got this nozzle that, you know, twists. You can go like that. So let's water. You see, it takes a little bit to water this stuff. All right, let's get this water hose out of here. So the last thing is to use these. So you put it on and it just sets right on top. They're made to fit these, so I bought them as a set. And so you put these on, and you know, for me it's still cold season. I close the top vents, right? So close the top vent, but leave the side vents, you know, somewhere like halfway open. That way you get a little airflow, but you really want to capture that warmth from the sun as much as possible. At least that's what I think. And I'll make adjustments based on how sprouting goes. You know, I talked about moon phase, and so back in the day people used to plant by moon phase because everything just seems to be more active when the moon is full. And so if you plant when the moon is full, your seeds will sprout sooner. That used to be the old going. That's I don't know. You could choose to believe that or not, but in my experience, I think I agree. It's something that I can't explain, but something that I've observed. And so one last thing. As we look at these here, get my shadow out of the way. So if I leave these trays like this, you know, they look pretty nice and they look ready to go and they're nice and warm. I'll come back tomorrow and these tops will be blown off to the corner of the yard, and maybe even my trays will have slide off and I'll be really disappointed because I just lost a harvest. And so what you got to do, like I showed earlier, is figure out a way to keep this on top. And so you could put a rubber band or tape it, or you could tie it off with something. That's what I'm gonna do, is just use a little bit of that green garden tape, that stretchy tape, and just tie it off. And so that this will stay on top until it sprouts, and then I might, you know, use something else after it sprouts because I have to get in and out of it a lot. So I got it tilted so that it'll drain, and I have a plan to keep these things on top, these little mini greenhouse cases on top, and I'm gonna water them every just to keep the soil moist, depending on the weather and conditions, about every other day until they sprout. Keep a close eye on them, and I'm gonna put them a place where they get a lot of sun, so 6 hours at least. And I'm gonna wait. We'll see how it goes, right? If it sprouts well, I say, yay, I got an early start, and I think I'll have something I can eat in March, even like maybe mid to late March. You can start to clip baby greens from this, and that's the goal and the hope with doing this, because it's really bumper season here, and being able to like have a crop so early would depend on some other things. And so that's that with that. So with that, everybody, thank you for watching my video. Please consider liking and subscribing. This is a journey this season, and so we'll see where we get and how much food I can put on the table. Okay, take care, and until next time, wish you happy gardening, and thanks for watching the video.